In A Thousand Blows Season 1 Episode 5, the 40 elephants discover the silver they stole is fake. Eliza worries about what the elephant boys will do to them now. The next time Alice shows up to work, Lady Grace says she saw her leaving with the thieves. While she's impressed, she's also angry with her for disgracing her household. She warns her to run before they make her hang. A man comes to Mary, revealing he knows she's been masquerading as Lady Farmley. He says she must find Lau or he will pin the murder of the Chinese dignitary on her and her girls. Meanwhile, Lonsdale introduces Hezekiah to another potential sponsor of his boxing career. Hezekiah tells him he aims to take on Buster Williams and become a world champion. Peggy tells him he'll need to make more noise in the ring and in the press to get a fight with him. Hezekiah and Alec have only 3 nights before his next fight to train him. Alec gets frustrated that Hezekiah might be wasting all the talent he has by not working hard enough. He also confesses that he never expected he'd have to stand off to the side while he witnessed his friend's success. But Hezekiah assures him they will always stand together. Mary tells Hezekiah about the situation with Lau. She begs him to tell her if he knows where he is, expressing that they can help him together. But Hezekiah insists he hasn't seen him. He's lying, however, as he's been paying Jack Mack to hide Lau in one of his boats. Lonsdale arranges for Hezekiah's picture to be taken for the press, having chosen a jumbled background because he wanted to capture his essence. Alec wants to fight him for this, but Hezekiah holds him back, assuring him he'll do his talking in the ring. And he does. Hezekiah taunts his first opponent, whose pride becomes his downfall. He wins his next several fights, and the press eats up his victories. Sugar also wins his first fight in the West End, but doesn't get any satisfaction from the polite smattering of applause. He later expresses his frustration to Peggy that he still hasn't fought Hezekiah. Peggy admits he and influential men are working to keep him and Hezekiah apart for the time being. They can't afford Hezekiah's becoming injured or killed at his hand. During his next fight, Sugar rips off his gloves and starts boxing his opponent his way. Peggy then throws him out of his club permanently for his violent methods. He later discovers Treacle has taken his place in the tournament. When Sugar returns to fighting at the Blue Coat Boy, he calls out his brother for his betrayal, banning him from the pub for the rest of his life. He then sets his regulation gloves on fire. Later, Jane pays Mary a visit. She tells her she's damaged their reputation and caused the Elephant Boys to come after her. She advises her to surrender to them and come home. Mary berates her for becoming Indigo Jeremy's messenger, insisting that she won't give up on her ambition. Mary is desperate to find Lau by tomorrow's deadline or she'll lose everything she's built. Hezekiah still won't tell her where he is, but he promises to be by her side no matter what happens. He says he never knew kindness in London until he met Lau, nor strength until he met Mary. They sleep together, but afterward, Mary says it won't happen again. She says she'll take care of herself without his protection. Before she leaves, she takes a swig of his liquor, recognizing it as Jack Mack's. Sugar is angry to find Mary leaving Hezekiah's room. The next morning, officers apprehend Lau from the intel Mary provided them. She then asked Sugar for his support. He says she'd be forever protected if she married him, even from Indigo Jeremy, and proposes they make a home for lost souls together. She rejects him without having to think about it. He thinks it's because of Hezekiah, although she denies having feelings for him. He says he won't protect her or the other elephants if he doesn't have her love, so she sees herself out. Sugar and Treacle get into a confrontation about Treacle's betrayal. When Treacle insults him for wasting his time and mentions Mary, Sugar attacks him and beats him until he falls unconscious. Later, Hezekiah excitedly announces he got Alec a spot in the tournament. Hezekiah's next fight is integral, as it's with someone who reached a stalemate with Buster Williams once. He wins both the fight and the opportunity to fight Buster Williams himself in 2 weeks. But at the same time, Alec is stabbed and killed by one of Indigo Jeremy's men, who mistakes him for Hezekiah. Indigo Jeremy sends the knife that was used to kill Alec to Mary. She rushes back to the inn to find Hezekiah is still alive. At the same moment, Hezekiah learns from Esme that his dearest friend has been killed. We're finally getting to see Hezekiah box, but it's a bland storyline consisting simply of his moving tediously through the ranks. It's become increasingly clear that 6 episodes aren't enough screen time to develop the protagonist's championship arc alongside this season's other subplots. It should be enough time, though, to flesh out Hezekiah as a character, but that still hasn't happened. He's written as a smart guy, and yet he's made no attempt to reconcile his desire to become a world champion with his hatred of the society he now depends on for that goal. I hope Alec's death will cause him to start actually reflecting on his friend's warnings. It seems that's what the show is setting him up to do, at least, in the laziest manner possible.